Good morning, Flosstube. Welcome to Justsewsherrie. I'm Justsewsherrie here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. Well, hello and welcome to the first Flosstube of 2025. Today is Sunday the 12th of January and I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to those that have been with me from the start, any that have been scooped up along the way, and welcome to anybody who's new here, and also thank you to all of you new subscribers. I'm so pleased that you found me. I hope you stick around. I hope you like what I do, which is cross stitch with a hefty sprinkling of fun along the way. Life is not taken too seriously over here. No, that's not right. Not life is not too. I don't take myself too seriously, I think is the phrase. There are an awful lot of very, 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 very good, proper stitchers out there, and Flosstubers. I say that again. Yes, some professional Flosstube and YouTubers, aka Flosstubers, of which I am not one. Yeah, my style is flying by the seat of pants. Pants. It all comes back to pants. So this week's Justsewsherrie, and for those new here who haven't been to one of my Flosstubes yet, you've just come through either Whip Parade or I know Sean Periwinkle Stitcher mentioned me. We're on the heavy stuff again. I'll try not to have murderous thoughts this week though. I got this accidentally. To be fair, I got the last one accidentally as well, because I've fallen in love with these plant-based grow sandwiches, I think they're called, just from around the corner, and they're like an onion bhaji sandwich basically. But because I'm a member, you get like the meal deal for like, I don't know if it's £4 or something. So I get them. I usually get 2 little mini pork pies as my side, because I do like a pork pie with chutney, or pickle as some of you call it, but to me it's chutney. I'm old school. We'll get to that as well, me being old. But and then you get a drink, and I always get this because, right, it's the biggest one you can have, and I think, well, if I'm going to get something cheap, I want the most for me money, and this is £3 on its own normally, so I always get this just because I can, I suppose. Should I? Probably not. It's probably not doing me guts much good, but hey ho. I don't drink alcohol, I should say. So an energy drink now and again I was going to say isn't going to hurt us, although from your Whip Parade it might have hurt those around us. But to be fair, I can do that without Red Bull. Right, where am I? Where am I going? Yes, if you're new around here, Justsewsherrie is daft stuff, or just stuff that just happens in my world, in my sphere. I have some things that just happen to me because of me. Yeah. And it all started with pants. I got my big girl's pants on to do my first Flosstube, and pants seems to have been the theme all the way through. And this week's Justsewsherrie includes, or involves, or is around Justsewsherrie and our big girl's pants. I'm getting some new radiators. I'll try and make a long story into a semi-short one. It's not a long story. What I mean is I could make it a very long story, but I'll try not to. I'll try and keep it concise. These energy drinks, man. I just go, woo! Evaluation Centre for Disturbed Women, right here. So I'm getting some new radiators, so they had to come round and do a survey, and this chap came, and he was quite good looking, I think. He was married, so you know I wouldn't, but he was a good looking chap. I can appreciate stuff that looks good. And he came in, and the first thing he wanted to know my living room. Well, he went into my living room and measured the radiators in there, went into the kitchen. I've got a very small house. Went into the kitchen, did in there, came back through. He says, "What's all this?" And he pointed to me Lowry and stuff, and I says, "Well, it's a Lowry stand. It's for stitching." And he says, but what is all this then?" So I had to explain. I says, "Well, this is me light and me magnifier, because I've got one of the daylight lights that slots into me Lowry." And I was showing him how I can just like swing it in and out, you know, like with the light and the stitching together, just sort of. Oh, now I could do with one of them. He says, because I like messing with watches. I says, all right. He says, and I could do with like a magnifier, like a good light. I said, well, it's a magnifier as well. And I thought, oh, that's really good. I might have to look at getting one of them. What did you call it, a Lowry? Yes, a Lowry. Oh, okay. Anyway, I'll go upstairs and measure upstairs. So, and I mean, I think he liked to chat, this man. So, where did we go first? I can't remember if I went into me bedroom or in here. I couldn't get him out. I mean, it's not often I have men in my bedroom, but once they're in, they apparently quite like to stay here. So, yeah, we had a good chat in my bedroom. Oh, that was it. And I showed him my floor stand and magnifying lamp. And he was like, oh, that's really good. And fascinated by it all. Really, really fascinated. And what did I do with all my crafts? And oh, that was it. So we came in here. And do I sell me needlework and stuff? I says, no, I just... And to be fair, never thought to say, actually I frame it, it's up here, it's up well, it's up there that you can't see. It's, you know, it's all over downstairs. I forgot to say all that. I just went, no, I don't sell it, I just kind of do it for pleasure. And he says, all right. He says, and you know, he says, I say to people, because I says, I'm never bored. I says, I've always got something to do. I don't go out very often. I says, but I'm never bored. And he went, no, he says, I agree. He says, I have hobbies and things, like obviously tinkering with watches and stuff. He says, and I think if you're bored, it's a lack of intelligence, really, isn't it? So ladies and gents, all of you out there who are stitching and you're not bored, it's because we're all very, very intelligent. However, we discussed this room, the boiler. Some of you might remember the episode about where the magic happens, where I tried to get lure a young man into my room where the magic happens, and he was not being lured. This fella, I couldn't lure him out of the bloody room. He talked all about I'm saying boiler, it's not me boiler, it's me water tank that's in that cupboard, and that's coming out. And then just as we're walking out, he turned around. This is the part where I blush, and he goes, nice pants, by the way. At which point I lost the ability to speak, and I couldn't quite get words out to explain why I need big girls' pants and what yeah. So there you go, there's the tale of the week with the man that I couldn't get out the room when the magic happens, who was admiring me pants. Boom, boom. Right. Let's go onwards and upwards. Cross-stitching. Christ, we're at 10 minutes and I haven't even said anything about cross-stitching yet. If you've accidentally landed here, and you're not even a cross-stitcher, feel free to stay. You're all welcome. I have got a fully finish. If you follow me on the gram, you may have seen this. I have also got a finish which nobody has seen yet. I have got 2 new starts. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 whips, 5 whips. I've got a gift from me. Actually, I might have another one from Etsy. I'll have to have a look. But I've also got the Cotton and Twine subscription box as well. So I'll go through that as well. Okay. I'm just going to turn my fan off. The radiator in this room isn't working, hence new radiators and fan on. So my big fully finish. Stacey Nash gingerbread. I can't remember what it's called. Gingerbread sewing house, something like that. So I will take you through step by step. So what I did was I chose the lace because it matched perfectly. I did this on 36 count earthen. Can't remember who it's by. But I mean, sure, if you look up 36 count earthen, it'll bring it up. So it's like a pinky colour, and I colour matched it to the picture that we had. It was meant to be Ween's Beans. Now, I didn't realise Ween's Beans is more of a gingerbread colour itself. So anyway, I matched it to the colour that I thought it was, and I think it worked out fine. So I matched the lace to it. Now, Stacey had done her tie in the middle, but I didn't want to do that because, as you can see, so at the top I put brads in, just little brads, just to give it a little bit of sparkle. I then put little buttons in along the, I was going to say garlands. I suppose you garnish a house with garlands. And then I put beads into the wreath and also into the Christmas tree. I'm not very good with fully finishing, so yes, so I wanted to put this higher up because I didn't want it encroaching on here, and I thought it looked quite nice there because it just sort of frames the top of the windows. Maybe I shouldn't have Red Bull. And then the back is inside of the house with the little mices. And then inside, what I did, I haven't put me scissors in. So this is the inside, and I've put this in to tie my scissors. Stacey's got some scissors and a hoop tied in hers, so of course I need a 3-inch hoop, obviously. I did have scissors tied in, so I don't know where they've gone. Who knows? But she used seam binding, and she tea-dyed seam binding basically. So she used it for that, and she also used it for this as well. So this is lined with shortbread linen, I think it's called. my friend Alison ordered it from Blackberry Primitives with the wool that was needed. So this is the called for finishing. And I just put a ribbon along here, and then over here what I decided to do was make the pocket into its own garnishing. I'm determined to garnish things. Make it into its own, what do you call it? Make it look pretty, rather than doing it as a seamless pocket. As I said, I'm not very good at fully finishing stuff like that, so I made it my own the way I could. And I had this little felt flower that I just stitched in, and a handmade button that I bought at the Turtles, so Turtle Bay, down in Wales, South Wales, Bridgend, where my friend Sophie has it. And then you just undo, and in here I've put a little material tape measure and buttons. Yeah, buttons. You know what buttons look like. But anyway, I love the feel of buttons and the sound. Little old buttons that I got from, these are all buttons all over here. So I went shopping in my button shop. And that is it. And I am chuffed to bloody bits with it. I really am. So pleased with it. And if you followed me for a while, I'm quite, what's the word? Depreciative? Is that the word? It's not very often I go, oh, this is mint and I've made it. But this is mint and I've made it. So I'm dead proud of it. Little things I would do differently if I could do it again. This is deliberately offset. I pulled it so that I could sort of close. I don't know why I was thinking I would need, it would work if I was doing poppers. But once I'd done it, I thought, why? That doesn't make sense, but I wasn't going to undo it all. So anyway, yes, you learn as you go, but I am thrilled. These little buttons, I meant to say, are, I don't know where. I've got a new tin. My mum bought us a new tin for Christmas, because we like a tin. And I've put all my little buttons. Anyway, they're sprinkles buttons, I think they're called. If you really need to know exactly what and where they are, let me know and I can let you know. I'm sure they're called sprinkles. So that is my first fully finish and only fully finish. Second finish. Right, let's start again. That was my fully finish. This is my finish. I am over the flipping moon. This is stunning. Not my stitching, but Liz Matthews. So it's Hello from Liz Matthews, Quaker Snowflakes. And I've done it on 36 count Lyrebird Dell from Fox and Rabbit. Isn't it fab? I am over the moon. I did it with a called for. So it's got like a copper and a champagne thread at the bottom, coloured thread at the bottom. And it's just done with white. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now it's meant to have glad tidings at the bottom. I decided not to put it on, and there was quite a lot of people in the comments where I was talking about it that said they haven't put it on either, because it means it's just a winter piece. I can keep it up all till end of February really. That's when I would say that I start and feel spring coming. The daffs are just starting to poke their heads through and things, and I'm like, yep, spring's on its way. So I'm going to attempt to lace this and frame it. And I'm going to use Laurie Holt's lacing tutorial because Carol said it was fab. And I always do what Carol says. Isn't it mint though? I love it. I do love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. And it was a long time. It took me for ages to get into it. I don't know why, but it did. It took me for ages to get into it. Oh, I've got these two lying out as well I meant to show you. So, this was kind of claimed by my friend Jess, Cross Stitch Jess. She said she would do it. Unfortunately, I had already cut it by then. Another lady came up with a really good idea, and I've looked back through the comments and I'm so sorry I can't find it because I wanted to find your name. She suggested making it into a little needle book, and I thought, what a good idea. Alternatively, I then thought, actually I could make it just into a hoop finish, you know, like a hanging, but it's meant to have all this back stitch on. I mean, you don't necessarily need it, but so who knows. I'll either send it to Jess and she can do with it what she wants. And Santi, these were two that were getting UFO'd, by the way, in the bin. And Santi, who's on my homemade tea-dyed Ada, it's Santa's Hike by Teresa Corgett. My friend Alison sent me an email going, no, you can't bin Santa. You just can't. So thank you very much to all the ladies who said, I'll do him. They actually were the first two to get in touch and just say, well, I'll do it. So they have been given new homes. So that's nice. They've been adopted. So let's look at some new starts. Now, I know I did this. I used these on me, or showed these on me Whip Parade, but I'm going to show them again purely because, number one, I've done a little bit more on them. And also, for me, they're back in me floss tube, if you like. They're not, yeah. So the first one was my New Year's Day start, which was the Blessing Sampler by Chris, the Camping Stitcher. And, oh gosh, oh, obviously it's got the working thread on. If you're new here, working threads are us. When I'm done. I literally, I'll be like, oh, I'm kind of done, I'm done. That's it, and I just walk away. That's it, done, gone. And this is it. It looks, you can't see it. Oh, that's it. There you go, you can see it there. So this has been done on, I don't know, is the thing. Don't know what the material is. I bought it at one of the retreats. It's not a Swagger or anything like that. I don't know. It's just a piece of like greyish blue fabric. But I'm using Papa by Cottage Garden Threads to do it. I was just having a look. I keep wondering whether I've made an absolute balls up of it by using that thread, but I quite like it, and you can see it a lot better in real life. I think I'm going with it. I know I'm going with it. I am going with it. And I think it'll be really interesting when it's done. You know, like the movement of the colour. I think it'll be quite interesting. So for example, like this roof, it could be like a frosty morning. We've had some real frosty mornings here, mind. Yesterday and today. You would think it had snowed. The whole place is white, thick white. And it's not, it hasn't snowed. It's just frost. But it's the thickest frost I've ever seen here, especially on the coast. I know inland you might have had it a little bit, you know, bad frosts, but on the coast we usually stay clear of most of that. So anyway, I was thinking it's kind of got a glint of sort of frosty morning, you know, where it's, or a snow where it's melting. Or is it just me that's seeing that? Probably just me. I see lots of things. I'm not going to say I see dead people because I don't. But I do see lots of things. That possibly maybe out there. I don't know. So that is my blessing sampler. And I chose to do quite a small doable one because, yeah, December kind of sold me out. It really did. Not with Sal, sorry, but with having to keep up with things. It was a little bit, what's the word? I can't even think the word. I was a little bit less optimistic this time, shall we say. And I'm going to show you this because I am nearly finished it. And this is in my rotation now. So these are the things that I'm working on at the moment. So this is Historical Sampler Company. And it's their mystery stitch along. And this is another very doable one. I found the Halloween one, there was a lot to it. The Christmas one, there wasn't as much to it. And this one is lovely. I'm loving this one because it's just, oh gosh, what's that? Oh, it's me little owl. Me little owl. Oh. Hold the line, please, caller. While I sort my owl out. So, there. So I've nearly done it all. I am now waiting for the next bit to come out. I think it's tomorrow. It might be due out. So this is going to be definitely doable. This is still available to join in the Mystery Sal if you want to join us. And I've got all the threads and the bag and the nerd hoop. But I know it, right. Let's talk hoops. Let's talk about me hoop. Right, the difference between a wooden frame and like a nudge like this, you know, like a Q-snap type, I struggle because I know they're both as tight as each other, they have to be, but I always feel like these are really harsh on me stitching. I can't even open it. I just feel, and I don't know why. Because obviously both of them are as you know, tight. No freaking way. to my world, things just kind of happen. My life. Right there. Right there. Good God. Anyway, yes, I'll struggle to use these and Q snaps because I feel like it's killing me threads. Killing me threads. So they are, yes, they're new starts. Yes, you've seen them in my wet parade, but they're me rotation now. So let's move on to whips. This one is the smallest progress you've ever seen in your life, but progress has been had. So Winter Rose Manor, during my whip parade, I reminded myself, and that was the whole point of me doing the whip parade, I reminded myself that I was gifted The Light of Winter by Rhonda last year, and she gifted me the threads, the material, everything, and I promised myself I wouldn't do it until I'd finished Winter Rose Manor, and I haven't. It's not that I'm nowhere near finishing, but I need to make an effort, put it this way. So that is Winter Rose Manor. So I have done some more of the roof, basically. I'm going to go with it. I talked about it on me whip parade, about this basket, this colour. But I'm going to go with it. I can see it a lot clearer than you can. And it is very tone on tone. But that's okay. And if push comes to shove, I could even do a back stitch around it, you know, just to give it definition. So yeah, so I am, Rhonda, I am on it. I am doing this because I bloody well will get to my beautiful Light of Winter. And I suddenly feel, no, I was thinking not enamoured, like energised. I feel energised by it in a way I don't think I've ever been since I actually started it. Because this was one of the ones that, you know, when you've got to have something, and I had to have this. And I think I ordered it on its own and paid an inordinate amount of money for shipping. So, you know, I need to do it. Right, I have done some more on this. It is out of season now, but I don't care because I love it and it's my stitching. And if I want to, I've got a mark on me face. Maybe I haven't washed myself properly. So, Christmas Queen of the Needles by Primitive Hair, and isn't she just? That little lady is just beautiful. So what have I done since you saw her last? I know I've been and put some more of the leaves in. There was some leaves missing. I need to put some leaves here. And basically I've come down, I've done the train, I've filled in the little train, and I've been working down here. So I've managed to finish this. All he needs is the needles. Needles 24, yeah. So needles 24 at the top of here in back stitch. And I've done the majority of this. You can see there the snowflakes. So I need to finish actually I'm saying I've finished this. I've got the other legs of the brown to go there, but when I get the brown to here, I'll finish off there. So that'll be my next job, basically, is getting the brown out and doing the back stitch, and then I just need to do the other one. I'm starting to think, people don't want to see it now. It's not Christmas anymore, and they won't like it. But I still want to stitch on it. And apparently I can do what I want. There was a comment. There was a comment that I had saved. What have I done with it? What have I done with it? Here it is. Noreen. I thought it was Noreen. Noreen Curry. This was from last week. You are far too hard on yourself. Breathe. There is no one perfect fabric. Be creative and it will work itself through. This is from what this 80-year-old plus has learned. Thank you, Noreen. I needed that. Yes. And don't we often say, if I knew then what I know now? So actually I'm going to take Noreen's, what she knows now, is, yeah. So if you're being too hard on yourself, ladies, just breathe. Breathe and go with it. It will work one way or another. Oh, now this has had me hot this week. I said I was going to do some on her. The Little Match Girl by the Little Stitcher. And actually with this, you get the story. You get the story of the Little Match Girl. Always makes me sad though. I mean, I love it, but it makes me sad at the same time. But that's the story of the Little Match Girl, isn't it? And this is where I am on it. So I was as far as, I think I'd done M. So the little M. So finished all this, and I did this 3 times. Had to frog it, not quite all of it, up to here. I had to frog back because I just kept making counting mistakes. So I need to go back and put the snow on the top of the letters. And then I came down here. I did the brown line all the way along. And then I came down here. I had done, I think, 2 lines of snow. And then I've filled the rest in. So, but I think I'm going to change the colours of her dress. So her dress here is the same colour as that. So I think I'm going to change. I don't want a brown dress on her. I don't know what colour dress I'm going to put on her. I would have put red, but I'm a bit worried that that would make it into a Christmas stitch. It would make it look like a Christmas lady. What do you think? Or a scarlet lady? I know all about them. Just ask me, Radiator Man. He found out it was all about the pants as well. So, yeah. ETRP. I'm joking, by the way. I am. No. When I was younger, I might have thought about it, but I can't be bothered now. I'd rather have a cup of tea. Easier. So that is me Little Match Girl, and this little lady I got out yesterday, and I do love her, and it is my Snow Queen, Mirabilia. And I could have done a lot more. I could have done a lot more. Story of my life. I could have done a lot more, but I didn't. I couldn't settle. I just couldn't settle. The cats are the bane of my life sometimes. Well, it's Scout mainly, but they like to take turns. They've got like this tag team going on. one wants to be out, then the other wants to be out, then one wants to be in, then the other one that came in wants to be out, and then the one that's out wants to be in, and then the other one wants to be in, and it goes on, and they had me up and down as many times, and I just couldn't settle into stitching. I did eventually fed them, and they fell asleep, and I got about 2 hours actual stitching, solid stitching. They're like babies. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it's Scout, he's so vocal. He literally screams, "Ah, let me in, I've been out for 3 weeks. Feed me, you haven't fed me for a month." Oh, honestly. So anyway, here is my beautiful lady. So she is coming on a little bit more. So what did I do? We'll start here. So I filled in some more of the bridle around here, and some of the little bits that were missing. I came down here and put some of the shading in. Started to put some of the shading in. I filled in pretty much all of this. There was lots of little odd confetti stitches that needed putting in, so I've done those. What else did I do? I started to put the bright blue in here. I came down here and I put this is a Karen water lilies, so I put these in. I think I've done the top couple, so I put the rest in. Put all the purple in. No, I'm lying. No, I'm not. I did do that. And I did the Karen water lilies down here. And then I've just started to move over here, and I shall tell you for why. So I've just started to put the black in here, which is what she's got a hold of, because then I can map off that to start some things on the Queen. It's just going to give me a little bit of a, what would you call it? Like something you can count off. I don't know what you call it. Yardstick, I suppose. So I actually, in the finish, I did get a little bit done, but for the sake of how long, I mean, must have been there about 6 hours, and I got like, I would say 2.5 hours of stitching. Just frustrating. Very, very frustrating. But she's coming on. She is coming on. Putting that little bit of a bridle in, I think made a difference. Because suddenly her face really, really is coming together. There's lots of gaps for beads, and I'm still of the, do I bead as I go, do I not? Yeah, I still haven't decided. This is my first mirror, so it's not something I've got experience of. And when I asked in the mirror group on Facebook, when I was going on to Facebook, I don't know, so just in case anybody friends me, is that yeah, asks me to be their friend or tags me or anything else, I won't say it, I don't say it, I don't go on Facebook. And I won't go on Facebook. But I did ask in that group, and hand on heart, it was a 50-50. It literally was really split. Half beat as they go, half didn't. They did it all at the end, so it's getting freezing again now. Right. Last whip. And we're back to my little beauty. And those that have been with me for a while will know all about this one. So it's my patchwork calendar. And if you saw my face on the whip parade, I watched it back and I was like, oh my God. Like, it's like, can't wait to get back to it. It's not going to be long though. So I'm starting to feel very sad. I'm starting to have withdrawal. So I've nearly finished that one. I've got just around the edge to do. And that is November. So yeah, good couple of hours on that and pretty much nailed. Do you say it for the last time before it's finished in its entirety? Because I won't take it apart. Take it apart? I won't unfold it after I've finished November so that I get the full effect as well. Isn't that amazing? Yep, it's been a labour of love. I have loved almost every second of it. I didn't enjoy that one. This one here. You can see it, by the way. And I didn't really enjoy this one either. So you know how I said it's a labour of love? I lie, blatantly, I lie. I think it's the colours. I'm drawn to certain colours. And I'm doing that. Do you know, I don't think I have said a single fabric that I've used on anything. I'm sorry. If you need to know the fabrics of anything, let me know, and I'll tell you. Now, somebody did ask me about something. Just asked me what. Oh, I know what it was. It was who the designer of the Gothic bat was. I think it's Yaz, but I am going to check and I will let you know. And that's the end of my stitching. So, hang around for the Cotton and Twine subscription box with a fab pattern from Emma Congdon. So it's worth hanging around and having a look at that. And a gift or two. And I shall bid you goodbye. Good, nice quick one today. Okay, one moment. Not often it happens, but I was right. It is Gothic. It is Gothic Bat, but it is by Yasmin's Made with Love. I will answer your comment and put it in there, but just in case you're watching this as well. So that is Gothic Bat by Yasmin Made with Love. So I discovered I was old last night. I had a fall. I mean, that in itself doesn't mean that I'm old, but I discovered that I referred to it as I had a fall rather than I fell. You know when you're young and you just, oh yeah, I fell the other day. These days I say I had a fall. It becomes its own entity. It is a thing specifically to old people. So yeah, so hence why I was standing before actually, and I've hurt my wrist. I'm not entirely sure how or what. It's not sprained, and it's certainly not broken. It's not swollen or anything like that, but it's just hurting some ways when move my fingers. Anyway, back to good stuff. Cotton and Twine. This is the box it arrives in. Now I was I was asked to work with Joanne and Suzanne with the subscription boxes, so they have sent this to me. However, all opinions are mine. So yeah, that's the box. I lost my thing, and this is how it comes. I've talked about this before. The wax paper it comes in is just beautiful, and I know I've said it before and I'll say it again. The quality of the stuff you get is just top notch. So in your subscription box, now this you can subscribe to the subscription boxes. I'm not sure if you can buy them on its own. That might be something I need to check. But you can definitely subscribe to them, and they're fab stitches. So this January one is pattern by Emma Congdon. I love this, and I think to start off in January, stitching my way to happiness, I think that's a pretty cool start right there, because I think, you know, I've just read it when I was looking up my quotes, but I can't remember who said it, but most people are as happy most people are as happy as they make up their mind to be. So yeah, and I can't show you the pattern obviously, but what I can show you is that, to show you how clear and large the patterns are. They are fabulous. So then you can choose either linen or Ada. I have chosen linen, and I like this because it's doable as well. I mean, it's meant to be sort of a monthly subscription, so you're meant to stitch it in the month, and it is doable within a month. It's quite nice. You get all the threads, and of course a needle. Let's get these threads out. Aren't they lovely? Bright and cheerful and happy. They are lovely. I love them. And I mean, everything comes, if you do journaling or anything, these are perfect for journaling, junk journaling. You get a hoop. Don't know why I just did that. Yes, we're coming to the end, don't worry. What do I think? 8 inch. Do I know me inches this week? Oh, you beauty. 8 inch. Definitely know me inches. You get a lovely little tea bag, and it is an English tea bag. English breakfast tea. And of course you get a sweet treat. And these are Eaten Mess candy kittens. And these are vegan. So will suit everybody. And the final thing is this little box. I love this. This is right up my street. This to me makes the entire box worthwhile. It really is the little things. I've got up there all of these are binder clips in colour order. Yeah, I'm a bit OCD with some things. And this is a Sparkling Fizz lip balm. It's a good chunk of lip balm as well. Oh, that's lovely. It's got a hint of lemon in, I think. It's really zesty, crisp. It's definitely a January smell. It's just starting to get light outside, and I kid you not, it's just white and it's just frost. But that is your subscription box, and I think that's really lovely. I love the pattern. Emma Condon never does anything wrong though, does she? So I'm over the moon with that. Over the moon. Will I get it stitched? I actually quite fancy I might start it, because I think it'll be a relatively easy stitch. Like it'll just potter along quite nicely. I might actually start that. Yeah, I think I will. There you go. Thanks. Yous are brilliant, you know, for giving us ideas on what to do next. And the only other thing I bought, which I didn't really buy, it's on my auto ship, is Frosty's Jack Frost Tree Farm by Little House Needleworks. This is part 3. And I've been hunting for a fabric, so I'm going to ask your opinion. I think this is, it's Weeks. Yeah, grey. I think, is it this one that was formerly known as Confederate grey? I can't remember if it's the Weeks one or if it was a different one. But this is Weeks grey. Now it's a bit more, there, can you see that colour in there? It's a bit more like that, so it's a bit more, yeah. Now, my question is, do I do it all on one piece of fabric? I was talking about this before, that I quite fancy doing it on one piece of fabric, but I couldn't be bothered to work it out. And I mean, it's not that I can't be bothered to work it out. They give you the things, it works out 183 by 173 high. It's whether I want to or not, because I think they seem easier to stitch when they're just in their own little small things, whereas starting a big one seems more daunting. Does that make sense? And 2025 I have decided, so I'm not doing 25 and 25. I was gonna, but then I decided no, I'd put so much pressure on myself last year that I was looking at me 24 and 24 and thinking, oh, I've got to do that. And because I have to do that, I'm sure it's snowing. It is, you know, it's trying to snow. This wasn't forecast. Anyway, before I get too excited about the white stuff outside again, yeah, I felt like I had to do it rather than I wanted to do it. So I'm not doing 25 and 25. Last year I ended up doing, I think it was 57 starts. So I more than fulfilled my quota of 25 and 25. And I finished 30 odd of them. So I did more than 25 starts and more than 25 finishes. That works for me. It's all about the spin, isn't it? If we can put the right spin on it, Keep looking out there to see if it's going to snow. If we can put the right spin on it, anything becomes anything you want it to be, doesn't it? So, why did I go off into me 25 and 25 there? Oh, so what I was saying is 2025 for me is going to be a year of turning it back to my hobby rather than doing it for outside pressures, for keeping up with this Sal and for doing that one. And I think as Flosstubers as well, we have a certain sort of, we think, oh well, at the end of the day we've got to have some content, of course you do. But I felt last year like I had to do a lot of stuff to justify having a floss tube, but it took away so much pleasure. So 25, the year of 25 is going to be loose. Loose has been the word of this episode, hasn't it? Yes, it's going to be loose. We're going to have a nice loose year. Or I am anyway. If you want to join me in being loose, you are more than welcome. I am the home of loose people. So loose people and big pants. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So yes, back to the matter in hand. I don't really want to do it on a big piece of fabric, because I think that's then gonna put pressure on as to how many of them I have to do to make it. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. I just want to say as well, thanks for all the comments. It makes a difference to me, and obviously I do read them, but I don't just go, oh yeah, thanks. I read them and I think, oh yeah, that would work, and I can, my head goes off into like somebody will suggest something, and I'll think about it. I'll actually think, could I do that? Would it work for me? Yada yada, all that sort of stuff. So I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts are on that, in terms of doing smalls on a big piece as opposed to doing smalls on their own little piece. What's the difference in that? Yes, very interesting. So that's that. And I think that was the only thing I bought. The other thing in 2025 that I'm going to do, I am restricting myself to 3 new gifts a month. That's it, 3. I have got a stash coming out of my hoopla. So that does not include things that I need in terms of threads, or if I do need a fabric, and I mean need a fabric. If I can't make one of my fabrics work, I've got 1, 2. I've got 5 drawers worth of fabric in it. I don't need, well, and then the other day I couldn't find fabric, the one that I wanted. I do need some more, like cream and sugar, milk and honey. I need some of those, the sort of very light but not quite white fabrics. And because I went down that rabbit hole of me Christmas garden, and that's what Noreen was saying to us, don't worry about your fabric, go with it, it'll work. So I am going to go with it, but I still do need other than that. So other than that, the 3 things are going to be things that I just want purely and simply because I just want them. However, I'm going to allow myself 3 things from a retreat as well. So if I'm at a retreat, I can buy 3 things other than cowslips, and that's because I would get there once a year. So fabric and things like that, I will allow myself to buy whatever I want because I'm on my holidays that week. I'm actually going away for a week, so it's not just a retreat. So yes, 3 things at a retreat, and I'm going to allow myself 3 things from Nashville and Needlework Marketplace. So that's quite a lot still, isn't it? Because it's 12 threes, 36? Plus I'm going to maybe 4 or 5 retreats, so that's another 15. So that's like 50. And then whatever I want at cowslips, that'll be another 50. So that's what I'm going to do, because that's where my challenge is for 2025, is being a little bit more restrained and mindful, of what I'm buying. Instead of just going, I need that and I need that and I need that and I need that. To actually go, right, I've got X amount of budget. What if I can only buy one thing, what one thing do I really, really, really want? And I think it's going to force me to focus a little bit more on it's just going to focus me a little bit more. I think that's snowing. It's trying, you know. I wonder if I can show you. I don't think I can. But it's yeah. Anyway, come on, Sherrie. You're doing Flosstube. So yes, 3 things. So that is where my challenge is going to be in 2025. It's not necessarily stitching. It's about focusing in on what I really want, what I'm going to do, getting some whips done, which was my Quaker Snowflakes was one of my focus points. So that is done. What I'm trying not to do is when I finish something, I am then putting, like these bags, I'm moving these bags into my fabric bags. So I'm trying not to use any new project bags, is what I'm saying. We will see how it goes. So far, I've already bought 2 of me 3 things. I'm not including this. This is a freebie. This is a freebie because this was before I decided it, and also because I've just ordered 2 things from Rachel and they have to count it. So I'll show you them next week though. Was there anything else? I think because this, I don't know. It's been a bit waffly at the end. I'm so sorry. Yeah. And so we come to the final curtain, do we? This feels a bit weird, this one. I don't know why. Feels a bit weird. But I wanted to do it. I would like to get back into my normal Saturdays. The reason I went Sunday this week was purely because I didn't have a huge amount of stitching to show you, I didn't think. But then me cotton and twine box dropped through the door. I managed to get some stitching in on the Snow Queen. So I felt like I had enough to do a floss tube today. But regardless, I'll do a floss tube next Saturday because I'd like to get back into the Saturday thing. It just suits me. suits me. So today's final thought is with my chap in mind who was hugely focused in on my creativity and what I get up to with it and what I do with the spoils and all the rest of it. So I came across this quote and I quite like it, and I kind of understand what he was saying now. So I will leave you with this, and it is from the Albert Einstein. Words not needed. Creativity is intelligence having fun. Bye for now.